whether you are a professional or a novice or a beginner, it is very easy for you to identify this entry opportunity on daily basis. As a matter of fact, something like this happen like 4 to 5 times in a day. All right, so if you're able to catch this opportunity 5 times in a day, then you will be a successful trader all through. All right, so in this video, I'm going to share with you how I'm able to catch this opportunity and how I utilize this on my daily trading experience. Of course, you can see right here that I'm already running in profit. Before this market get to this point, I've already taken this opportunity. Of course, you can see on your screen, I've already taken this opportunity from this break above the moving average. All right, so I took the opportunity all the way up. When the market began to have some rejection from the resistance, I also took advantage of the reversal pattern and then follow the market straight down to this point. So I'm really not bothered about what is happening now because I've already taken much of the opportunity that were initially in the market. Now let me show you how I got to this point. Of course, you can see that on this trade, I'm trading Great Britain pounds versus US dollar. All right. In most of my trade, I trade gold. As you all know, I trade gold. I deal more with gold. But on this particular trade, I took my entry on pounds and dollar, of course. And this is my live account. This is my live account. That's why I'm using this level of risk. Of course, you can see that I'm risking only 3% of my account. I don't want to risk more than this. Assuming this was a Profem account, seeing that opportunity, I would have gone more aggressive. Probably I'll be going with 0.50. All right, so this is live account, so I'm going with just 0.10, and I'm also going to do calculation on how I was able to get this this lot size for this account balance. All right, for this account balance, then let's go to how I was able to detect this entry opportunity. Okay, first of all, within the early hour of the day, I make use of my news platform. This is Forex Factory, as most trader knows. This is Forex Factory. So I realized that the one of the major news we have for today, being 17th of July, was on Great Britain pounds. The rest of the news are medium impact news. Okay, so I took this very news serious. CPI news. As we all know, we have CPI news, we have GDP news, we have unemployment claim, and the rest of them. We also have non-farm payroll. Those are the major news, all right? And some monetary policy statement. All those ones are some major news that usually comes. So when I saw this CPI news coming on Great Britain pounds, I had to switch immediately from gold to Great Britain pounds and try to study what's going to happen up there. That's what I do in most of my trading career. Is when I go through the list of the news for the day, I check those those currency pairs that has impact news. All right. First of all, check on those currency pairs that has high impact news. So if I see any high impact news on, let's say on the 19th of July, we are going to have high impact news on Canada. All right, on Canada dollar. Now Canada and USA share similar economic influence or similar economic value. So whenever a news like this, like core retail sale is going to drop on Canada, I know that it will have similar influence on US dollar. So in that case, I can equally trade gold using the same news. All right. So, but on July 18, which we are going to have unemployment claim on USA, I know this is also going to be a great opportunity for me to trade gold. So I really don't bother about many other currency. But on a day like this, that I don't have high impact news on US dollar, I know that there will be no much volatility on gold. So I look out for other currency pairs to trade. So early hour of today, I checked on my news platform and I realized that Great Britain pounds is going to have a high impact news, which is this news that came up on the early hour about 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. in the morning. So I just go to my news platform, I check the news. I also watch out for the previous events on the news. Alright, so I click on the news, check on more detail about the news. Sorry, on June 19, the news was neutral because it occurs almost the same way as the previous month. The forecast for this month was 1.9%. Alright, so when the news actually dropped, it exceeded the forecast. It was 2%, all right, 2.0%, and 2.0% appears to be a positive outcome of the news, which is higher than expected. Of course, you can see the interpretation of the news right here. You can see the interpretation of the news, the usual effect. This is where you also focus on when you are checking news in detail to know what is going to be the outcome and how it's going to impact the currency pairs on your trading chart. So if you look at the news here, you see the source and then you see the measure and then the usual effect. The usual effect is where you should always pay attention. You can see that the actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. All right. If it is stated here that the actual lesser than the forecast is good for the currency, you will know that the impact of the news is going to affect the currency pairs on the chart. That means the currency is going to drop value. So in this case, they said that the actual is greater than the forecast and it is good for the currency pairs. So when I noticed this, when I realized this on the news platform, I realized I have that conviction that this is going to be a good one for me to make my entry. So I quickly come to my trading platform. All right, when I came to the trading platform, this was what I saw. Okay, I see the market trying to move downward. I know that this was a kind of market sentiment. All right, market trying to force itself to gain a direction. So I just wait for the news to drop. Immediately the news dropped. This bullish movement took place. All right, so immediately that bullish movement took place and go across my moving average, engulfing the previous bullish candle and also engulfing this bearish candle. I knew that the impact of the news has finally dropped in the market, so I took my buy entry. All right, so I took multiple buy entry, though I still maintain my risk management strategy. So I took multiple entry here, about 5 entries was what I took here. I made about 50 pips on each of those entries that early hour of the day. And so when I started getting rejection in the market, I know that the market was going back again. Probably it will go halfway or it will move down to the level where the market open for the day, and then anything can happen. You can see from these few set of candles that appear to be indecision in the market. But when I got to this point, I switched my time frame to 5 minutes time frame. And then I was able to detect when the market crossed the moving average, because I always use the moving average and the candlesticks to identify my entry point. If I do not see the kind of candlestick I'm looking at for, and if the market do not break across my moving average, I do not enter any entry. That conviction is not there. So what happened was, when I noticed this movement upward, right? When I noticed this movement from this point upward, and I realized that this market is still going up. All right, I had that thought in mind that this market is still going up. But when these 3 candles came up, so when I saw these 3 red candles, in most of your candlestick patterns, you will see this to be 3 soldiers. They call it 3 soldiers. All right, so when I see these 3 bearish candle coming up and they go below the moving average, okay, they went below the moving average, I know that this is going to be a reversal. But I did not make my entry then. I waited for a new candle to form right below the moving average. It was at this point where this particular candlestick form, that was when I had that conviction that the market has really taken a new direction. So I took my entry. Of course, you can see my entry level. I took my entries and then instantly I placed my stop loss above it. Of course, you can see where my stop loss is. And at this point, I do not bother to go with my proper risk management strategy. I made the stop loss very tight because I usually place my stop loss at 200 points. All right, I usually place my stop loss at 200 points, meaning 20 pips. But in this case, I placed my stop loss at 10 pips. All right, I placed my stop loss at 10 pips, risking only $10 on each, 10 point something dollar on each of the trade. So, but fortunately, the trade went as I initially studied it to be, and as you can see, I'm running in profit. I can equally hold this trade till later in the evening, or I may also decide to close this trade. Now, this is how I took this entry, and definitely I would have been risking $20 on this trade, because going with my strategy, going with my risk reward management, I'm supposed to risk $20 on this, but I placed it tight because the initial momentum I was having was uptrend, right? I was having uptrend direction. So in order for me not to like force the market to change direction, I have to put my stop loss really tight, so that if the market continues, immediately it breaks my stop loss, I'll be looking for another buy entry opportunity. So I don't have to keep extending or extend my stop loss more than necessary, because as a forex trader, all you need to do is to obey the trend. If you obey the trend, follow the trend to any direction, you'll be able to get the market right. But if you always want to force the trend to go in your own direction, then you always get it wrong. All right, you always get it wrong. So in this case, I was able to take this entry with 0.01 lot size. All right, so now let me reveal to you how I was able to come up with this. Let me reveal to you how I was able to come out with this lot size. All right, so initially I was having 660 something dollar. I was having 660 something, about $665. So when I noticed that was my initial balance after the early hour of 200 and something dollar profit, I had to reassess my account and then plan another level of risk management that will be suitable for that balance. So I had to pull out my calculator. And I typed, I think it should be $665, but let me go with $660, right? So when I got that as my balance, I decided, okay, I'm going to risk 3% of this amount. All right, so I multiplied the amount by 3, which gives me this, and then I further divide it by 100, which gives me $19, 19.8. So I further divide this 100 by my stop loss level, which is my risk reward ratio level. So I further divide it by 200 points. When I divided it by 200 points, it gives me 0.099. All right, so on the trading platform, when I entered, of course we all know that on a trading platform you cannot enter that amount. Okay, like for instance here, if I click on this place, if I click here to type my this thing, I cannot enter 0.0. If I want to enter my lot size now, I cannot enter 0.099. all right, I cannot enter 0.099, so I have to approximate it to 0.10, right? Instead of 0.099, I have to increase it to 0.10. Okay, so that was how I managed to enter this lot size. Okay, when I enter this lot size 0.10, now my initial plan was to place my stop loss at 20 pips, which is 200 points on each trade. But when I adjusted my stop loss to 10 pips, all right, when I adjust my stop loss to 10 pips, I decided to add the second entry, which is this second one, because if I had opened the two entry at the same level, the two of them would have been getting $32 each. But I had to delay a little to do some assessment before I took the second entry, which is now in $31 profit. So I decided to adjust the stop loss from 20 pips to 10 pips. Then I opened two entries. That is how I apply my risk management to open this trade. And like I said earlier, this is what you can easily get on daily basis. If you go to your currency pairs, if you do not get this on Euro USD, you can get it on Great Britain pounds. If you can't get it on Great Britain pounds, you can get it on USD JPY. All you just have to do, go to your news platform, check for the news for the day, There are a lot of news that will be dropping for the day. Just confirm the news. There will be a currency page that will have high impact news within a day. Alright, out of about 7 major currencies, there will be one or two of them that will have high impact news within the day. Just open the chart that has that page. Just open the chart that has that page and glance through. Within the period of the day, you will definitely have this setup. Right? Like I said earlier, I usually trade gold, but when I checked on gold, of course you can see gold here. When I checked on gold, there was nothing like that within the early hour. Alright, this is gold. There was nothing like that within the early hour as of 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. in the morning. Okay, the market was just flat. Also, when I go to 5 minutes time frame, the market was flat within that period. However, gold is usually volatile. Okay, gold is usually volatile, so it gives random opportunity. But I wasn't really certain with the setup on gold, so I had to switch over um, to the Great Britain pounds. And then, of course, you can see later in the day, gold gives this opportunity. This was a nice one, right? This was a nice one and a convincing one. You can see what gold did here. You can see what happened on gold here. This was initially a bullish movement, right? This was initially a bullish movement, and then you have this strong bearish engulfing candle. All right, you have this strong bearish engulfing candle, engulfing and crossing the moving average, engulfing the previous bullish candle, even engulfing the second bullish candle, and then crossing the moving average. This would have been a perfect setup for a sell entry for me. Right, this would have been a perfect setup for a sell entry for me. But I paid attention only on Great Britain pounds for today. Alright, like I said earlier, whether you are a professional or a beginner, a setup like this are usually available on your trading platform. Immediately you open your chart on daily basis, you will always see a setup like this. There is never a time or a day that you will open your trading platform that you will not see something like this. You will see something like this happening 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, multiple times in a day. All you just have to do, be patient, play along with it, and always make good use of your stop loss, so that if this go against you, you do not have anything to worry about. Always watch out for setup like this, and you always get your trade right. See you again in our next video, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to give us the support by liking our video, and also if you have any challenge in respect to your trading career or to this video in particular, just type it down in your comment section and we'll be happy to respond to you. Cheers.